Hey, welcome back to Nanny and Pa's Adventures. Today I'm back out in the workshop working on the cabin front door, Sugi Ban style. I want to give you a shot of what I done yesterday. I'm glad I didn't videotape this because I'll explain as I go as far as locating and drilling these holes with a template that I bought off of Amazon. I'm not going to give the name, it really doesn't matter, but I'll tell you some of the things you got to watch out for if you're going to do this in a solid slab door. You're going to make it, or you're going to buy it, and you're going to locate the holes. I'll give you some pointers on what to watch for. So I'll show you what I have done, and then I'll explain the importance of getting this hole in the right spot and keeping your drill exactly 90. So yesterday, I can't see what you guys see. I located this hole here is for the deadbolt. This is for the handle, and I came up an X amount of inches. That's why this board's right here. It's like 37 inches. And then I came off it. You really don't have. You can put that anywhere you want, the deadbolt. So I'm gonna get you guys back in place here so we can see what's going on. You can see the two holes. You can see these two holes right here. So I know I'm a little far away. I'm gonna try to get a different camera that I can zoom in and out, but I drilled the holes with a template. And if you're not exactly 90, you're going through 2 inches. This is about 2 1/8 to be exact. That's it's an 1 3/4 inch, and inch and somewhere around 7/8 inch and 3/4, about the thickness of an exterior door. So that's why this board's here. I routed that in. I glued it, screwed it, located. This is the bottom of the door. So I came up right in the center of this board, and then I came in, because I think your doors, you can either set it at 2 3/8 or 2 3/4. I went 2 3/4, and the template that goes on there, you could set that depth to wherever you want, and then you get it on there, and then you put some screws in it, and you drill down. Here's the problem: you're going through 2 inches of wood. If your drill is off a little bit either way, left, right, forward, or back, that drill has to be perfectly 90. What happens when you start here and it's not 90, then you get through the bottom of the hole and it's not going to be exactly in the same spot as the start of this hole. So what it does is it kicks the handle one way or the other, front or back, left or right. And that's what I had a problem with the deadbolt. I wasn't exactly 90 when I went through. I still have enough door that when I tighten it all up, I had to do some finagling. I had to get a paddle bit, drill this out a little bit, because the deadbolt mechanism wouldn't fit in there, so I had to make some more room back here. I had to sand the hole out a little bit. I had to do a little work on the latch. If I can't say it enough, preparation is key in everything that you do. Make sure you're set up right. Don't rush through it. I didn't rush through it. I don't know exactly what happened. I do. I don't know how I did it. My drill wasn't exactly 90. So it kicked the bottom side of the hole away from me a little bit. So what it does is it makes the whole deadbolt cattywampus in there. It was the top part was closer to me, the bottom side was farther away, and it kind of throws off everything, and you got to make it fit. And if you don't have all the tools to do it, it can be difficult. So I'm glad I didn't film that one, because you'd have seen me spend about an hour at least trying to get that handle to fit in there correctly. That mechanism, that deadbolt, and that's not what I wanted to do, because that would have taught you nothing. I'm right now wiping the door off, wiping all the dust off of it, because I am going to put my first coat of polyurethane. Now, this isn't a house door. This isn't like it's going on my house. This is going on my cabin up north on the hunting property. Got to put the T in there. So I wanted to look good, but it's a hunting cabin. It's a hunting cabin. Me and my grandson's going to go up there. The wife and I are going to go up there, spend some time. It's not like I'm going to have neighbors coming over, any kind of visitors coming over and looking at the door. I want it to do two things: keep the weather out and keep honest people out of my cabin when I'm not there. Because the door they have on there right now, heck, they could pop that off with no problem. So I'm trying to make this a little bit heavier, make it a little bit harder, and safety stuff around your house, cameras, and like this door, it only keeps honest people out. If they want to break into it, they're going to break into it, and you're not going to stop them. I've had my stuff broke into on the hunt property. I had a fifth wheel up there. They broke in that, stole a bunch of stuff out of it. They stole my pop-up, broke into my shed. So I don't even lock my shed anymore. There's nothing left. They don't put anything in it because they'll break into it and take everything out of it. That's just how it goes. That's just what you got to deal with when you are, that far away from home. I'm 3 hours away. It's that far away from the cabin, and you can't be everywhere. Heck, I've had people break into my house here. I've had them break into my garage. I've had them break into my house. Had them break into my vehicles. You're just not going to stop people from doing it. They're going to do it if that's what they want to do. You can only try to slow them down, and sometimes that isn't always easy too. And hopefully just everybody stays safe. So what I'm going to do, polyurethane. Close. I'm not sponsored by anybody, and it's whatever. I'm just trying to do a video. It's backwards. My camera doesn't do that. So you're going to see it backwards. Water-based, easy cleanup, self-leveling. Minwax, pretty good brand. I use it a lot. I'm not going to show you me doing the whole door. I'm going to show you some of it. Once you see about 10 minutes of it, pretty easy. Yeah, I'm going to use a sponge, so I'm going to back off. Sponge, 2-inch sponge. I throw them out when I'm done. I don't clean them. You can buy a bunch of them from Amazon. So this is going to make it easy. Just going to put it on. You don't shake this. You don't shake. You stir. So I'm going to get a screwdriver. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to get a screwdriver, pop this open. Blow all the dust. Remember, it's a workshop. So let me get a screwdriver. And this is the inside of the door. So I will put 3 coats on this side because it's going to look good. And I'm going to sand it down in between each one. So I probably will show you a little bit on here. I'm not going to do it all. I'm not going to do the whole door because I think that'd get a little boring. I'm going to pop this open. And like I said, it's a workshop. I got all kinds of wood laying around. So let me get a dowel rod from over here. You don't want to shake it. Put air bubble in it. If you put air bubbles in it, then you're going to put air bubbles in your finish. You don't want that. You do all this work to get to this point, and you don't want your finish to look like garbage. So you want to stir it up. I got a bunch of rags laying around here. You can see, like I said, workshop. It's a very small workshop, 20 by 22, I think. And so it's congested because I do a lot of different stuff in here. I build a lot of different stuff. Trying to get my welders in here. I have some welders that I want to get into a little TIG welding. Maybe we'll get into that. A few projects, but that's all you want to do is stir it up. You don't want to shake it. Don't shake it. So you get that little bit at the bottom. You want to make sure, because it settles. So you want to make sure that you get that all stirred in. It's not ready yet. Because I want to make sure everything's stirred up at the bottom, because it will settle as it sits, and it's been sitting there for probably about 2 years. Don't know exactly what the shelf life is, but like I said, cabin door. If this was going on my front door, or one of these times, one of these videos will be a farmhouse kitchen table, dining room table. I want to build one. The one I have now, I bought off of my stepmom when my dad died in 1996, and he had it for years. So I think we're due for a new one, and I want to build one, and then maybe I'll attempt trying to do the seats, the chairs. That's not always that easy, but here we go. It looks like it's stirred up now. I don't have any stringy stuff hanging from it, so let me set this down. Like I said, I got towels all over the place, and when you're doing paint, you need that. So what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to start. This is the bottom of the door. It doesn't matter where you start. You know what? Let me start in the middle, so you, up towards the top, so you guys can see me and hear me. And you got to make sure you don't get all the, you want to get all stuff off, all the dust. So all I'm doing is dipping. Like I said, self-leveling. Just gonna brush it on, and you can see already. Maybe I'll get you a close up on this. But first coat, this is the first coat. Like I said, it's all self-leveling. You want to get in them cracks. And the smart thing would do is not to do this side first, because my belly's gonna be laying over it. I'm gonna get it all over my shirt. So I'm gonna do the farthest spot away from me, which is here. And remember, first coat. Don't get all freaked out about it. Like when you go with water-based self-leveling, it does exactly what it says it's going to do. It self-levels. But I'm going to start here in the middle and work my way towards me. And I will be putting 3 coats on. And in between each coat, I'll probably sand it with a 600 grit or 1000 grit, whatever I have up there. And you just want to do nice. You will get some air bubbles in it, but they'll go away. That's just from the brush, from the sponge. And you'll see it sucking in. You can see some spots where the grain's really going to suck in the polyurethane, the finish. And that's okay. Like I said, by the time you do 3 coats, you sand, and then you wipe it down with a tack cloth or a wet rag, whatever you want to. Whatever you have on hand. I don't use tack cloths, I don't have them. So I just damp a rag down, wipe it, and then I let it dry. It only takes a little bit, put a fan on it. And then I'll do the edges, because you want to make sure that when you're doing this, you don't have drip on the edges, because if it dries, it's like stalagmites, like a cave. It's got it looks like ice cubes hanging from it, and then you got to sand them off, and this creates more work for you. So I'm gonna move this over here. Let's put it on that just in case I get some drips on it. So, and then you can pour this on there if you wanted to. If you wanted just to pour it on, and that's however you want to do it. There's really no wrong way of doing these coats, especially with a water base, self-leveling. You just definitely want to make sure you get it into the grain, and then just take a peek at it. When you're looking at it, you'll see. You get the glare if you get the sun. I got the garage door open so I can see if I've missed anything, or the grain, some parts of the grain are sucking in more of the finish. And you can see it because you got to realize this is first coat is dry. So it's going to want to suck up a lot of this finish. So I just want to make sure that I'm getting at least one good coat down. And over these knots, pay attention to the knots, because some of the knots got cracked like that, like that, like that, that, and here. And then I'll do this edge. You want to make sure the edge is good, because you got to remember it's going to be outside. You know, the front of the door is going to be outside, and it does have a porch, covered porch on it, but you know, winters are rough up there. And then I'm just doing a real quick. You can see I have no method behind the madness. I'm just putting it on there and just making sure I don't have a whole lot. And I'll come back. And where I can see it looks like extra, I'll just fan it out to the middle. So you don't have a lot sitting there. But it will self-level. And I don't know what I'm going to call this video. I'm trying to getting into at least a half a dozen videos now, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to start calling them. It's still all new to me. Still haven't mastered the, you know, if you get too much on the sponge, try not to let it dry. But you can see, you can't, but I can. It'll start leveling out. So I'm going to do a little bit more of this. I think everybody's got the idea. But the most important thing I wanted to share with you guys was locating them holes. You know, they make it look like it's easy on TV, and it could be for some people. But like I said, I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes, but you have to overcome your mistakes. Fix them. I'm starting to get some drops right here. I don't want that, so just clean them up. So I'm almost done with this centerpiece, but I'll spend a couple more minutes on it, making sure that certain spots of the door is not, making sure I don't have too much on one, not enough on others. So I'm gonna do this real quick. Looks like I got some gathering right there. That's why I got a junky old shirt on, because I know I'm gonna get it on me. That's one thing about me and paint and anything else. I will get it on me. All I gotta do is walk into a room with paint, and I don't even have paint. It's gonna get on my clothes. So before I do this edge right here, I just want to make sure that I got everything that I need to get, that I'm not missing anything. Like I said, first coat, you know, don't have to, all you're trying to do is just trying to get a coat on here, and then you're going to come back, you know, sand it down, wipe it with some kind of tack cloth or a wet towel, and then should only take a couple hours to dry, and wash and rinse and repeat. So I'm going to get around this edge of that door, go back, get some of it out of there, and then come back, get that edge real good. Okay, I'm going to finish this one little panel up, this section of the door, and then I'm going to cut this video off, and then I might do another video on just my next coat, like what I do in the beginning. Sand it, wipe it, trying to make these educational, and not too long. There's some videos on there that's really long, and you watch people do stuff that, if that's okay, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But I want to watch. You know, I want to watch somebody sand. Nobody likes sanding. I don't. I don't think it's the, you know, my favorite thing to do, but it's definitely an important part of anything that you do, especially in finishing. When you're putting a finish on here like this, I really wish you guys could see this. It's gonna do a lot of soaking up, because you got to remember, I burned it. It's raw wood, and the first coat is gonna suck it all up. That's why second coat looks a lot better. Third coat, it starts to get really shiny. So I got all these screw marks, and I want them to leave. I want to leave them in there. I want to leave the screw marks in there. It's a cabin. I want it to look cabin-ist, I guess. I don't know what you'd want to call it, but that's what I want it to look like. I want it to look like somebody came in like me and built it. Around that door, around the hole I want to go, I'll make sure. And then I'll go through, before I'm completely done, and I'll do the edges and make sure that there's no drips on the edge, because once I flip it over, I have to get my wife to help me because it's too heavy. Like I said, I had shoulder surgery. It's too heavy. Can't do it by myself. Plus, I don't want to try to be a He-Man and damage the door. And then I got to stop, fix it, repair it, and then go backwards. You know, you don't want to go backwards if you don't have to. But that door is going to look amazing. When I get the third coat on it, I'm going to get a close-up shot of it so you can see what's going on. But right now, it being wet, and when you first put that poly, when you put the first coat of poly on there, basically what's the door is going to look like when it's completed. If not, then you could put 3, 4, 5 coats, whatever, however shiny you want it. There's no wrong way, really. I wouldn't suggest one and done, because I can already see it's getting dull. So I'm going to need at least 2 to 3. And like I said, I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to do the whole door. I'm going to turn the fan on, let it dry. Thing about turning the fan on in the shop when you're doing poly, you don't want sawdust running around. And then you end up getting it in your door, in your finish. You don't want that. So hey, thanks for watching. Hope you guys are learning something. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Still trying to learn how to get to them comments. Hey, be patient with me. Like I said, like I always say, never too old to learn something new. And I'm going to learn this and continue to keep doing videos, and hopefully in the near future that I will be doing some videos on the inside of the cabin with some insulation, maybe a little bit more wiring, and starting to put up some kind of panels. I really haven't decided what I'm going to put on the walls or the ceiling. I still have to insulate the ceiling, the roof, the bedroom ceiling. Still got to put this door in. I still got to buy a window and put a window in. There's just a lot of work. I could see 50 videos maybe just on the cabin, the inside and outside alone. So hey, hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for another one, which will probably be in a couple days, maybe this weekend, maybe Friday, Saturday, because today is Wednesday. And hey, like I said, have fun. Get out there, do something, learn something. Never too old to learn something new. Peace out. Have a good day. Love y'all. Bye.